G'day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the Division 2 Championships of the Aussie Racing League. Here for round 8 at Singapore. An amazing circuit, always a fun one to jump into and get into, of course. Always racing at night, and one of the most deadliest and technical tracks on the calendar. As always, here for Div 2, joined by one Baz, one old mate James here to give you the coverage. And already, James, we're having a bit of laugh here, because if the track couldn't get any harder, it's pouring down with rain.
Yeah, I think in the pre-game sort of practice lobby, someone was saying, "Oh man, wouldn't it be funny if it rained at Singapore tonight?" And I tend to disagree. I don't think it would be funny, but now I guess we're going to find out, aren't we?
It's definitely going to be funny for us, I'll say. Maybe not so much for the drivers, but yeah, you can already see full wet tires. So it's not even just like intermediates. It is just gunning down with rain here at the moment. It's going to be very difficult for these guys to really set the laps around the track and get some of those fast times. And I think I'm probably worried about even more than some of the fast times here, James, is the car setup, right? Because you're going to be set up entirely different for a wet setup compared to a dry setup. And if it's not raining for the race, it could really affect some drivers here out in the race today.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, us as spectators, we don't have the ability to see what the weather's going to be like for the race itself. I wonder if we could get an inside line. Anyone that maybe is in chat with someone in the race can tell us what the weather prediction is going to be for the main race proper. That would be good. At the moment, this is going to significantly impact the lap times, to say the least.
It's going to affect the lap times. It's going to affect, I want to say, even maybe the mental state of some of the guys as well, because you know, we know how difficult this track is for a lot of drivers. Like, even outside of some of the 2021 games antics, we know that it's always some of those corners come up real quick, real fast, especially coming through a lot of places throughout Sector 2. I mean, looking at some of the map data already got one of the Mercedes. Siphon here, I believe he's actually subbing in for the Mercedes garage here tonight. Already well off, sent it way off into the outside part of the track there. So
Yeah.
the troubles are starting, and it's going to be like that for the rest of the night, so keep an eye out for that.
Unsure if Siphon picked up any damage there. Well, he
He's
gets
having a
the
bit of a
back
drift,
loose
though.
again, yeah. It doesn't look like he's picked up any front wing damage there at least. Oh, he's gone off again. So I wonder if those tyres are just cooked already, or what's going on there. If maybe he's just getting a little too throttle happy. So I think Tickle Me SA is going to be our first driver here on a hot lap. He's just crossed the start-finish line now. We'll see how he goes.
Yeah, so coming through first set of chicanes here. I believe as well you were saying, James, that he's one of our new drivers, correct?
No, not Tickle. So we've got Kebab in...
Oh, sorry, Kebab, that's right, yeah.
He's new to the ARL, the Aussie Racing League. This is his first race here with us tonight, and so it'll be interesting. We should keep an eye on him and see how he goes.
What a first race to start on, by the way. Singapore pouring down on the front race. Absolutely god. Just want to point out as well, Siphon's actually been DQ'd now at the moment.
Oh,
so
did he crash out?
I believe the game was said for illegal parking, so I think maybe he might have been stopped still for a little bit too long there. So that's going to be rough there for the Mercedes sub. We've noticed past few weeks now tend to have a couple sub guys coming from Mercedes just have really unfortunate accidents or unfortunate luck. We had it happen at Bahrain, we had it happen at Monza, and now unfortunately we've had it here at Singapore. So hopefully we'll be able to, I guess, reclaim a little bit of positions there for the team for the race itself. But of course, still on board here. We're taking the SA now, going through one of the only straighter parts of the tracks here where you feel a little bit safe, right? Through Sector 2, gets a purple. Of course, everything will be purple here at the start. He's going to be setting the, I guess, tempo lap. A lot of guys to catch up on.
Yeah, he didn't even make it into 8th down that straight there with the DRS, so this is going to be significantly slow. I'm not entirely sure what times we should be looking at for wet laps out here.
Yeah, normally you take, what, a couple seconds off at best. We saw, I believe it was yesterday during the Academy League, it was a 1:37.9 for Xander in the dry. So we kind of were expecting it to be a 1:37 average on a dry circuit for these guys, maybe even 1:36.
Oh, he
easily
loses it in the last corner.
Big
Before
slide.
the line too, so it doesn't even count.
I wanted to point out, actually, before he got to that point, but unfortunately he ended up sending it. The amount of times I see drivers in the wet on this track just absolutely sending it. through that final corner and getting caught out. And unfortunately, SA is another driver to fall victim to that. I will not be surprised here, James, if we see driver after driver after driver doing the exact same thing, because you're used to that dry part of the track, right? Just being able to send it straight through
Yeah.
the inside. You just can't do that while the track is this wet. You're just going to spin the car out and potentially even take yourself out in one of the walls.
Yeah, absolutely. But the rain doesn't look like it's easing up here either, so it's almost certainly going to stay this wet for the entirety of the quality. So these for the quali, sorry. So these guys are going to have to make it work. Really, I don't know how much they've practiced street circuits this wet, but yeah, I guess we'll find out who really has that good throttle control and can stop the car from losing traction through these, especially faster corners. There's a lot of fast corners here.
Yeah, and it's always funny, right, where you have a lot of these guys practicing street tracks is one thing, but when the past major few races we've had have all been on bigger circuits, right, on Monza, on Bahrain, and of course even at Silverstone last week, you have so much runoff, so much wide tarmac to work with. To this, also full wet, it's going to test every ounce of skill of all the drivers here at the moment. Kebab, of course, our new driver here, joining us here for Division 2 for the first time in ARL, is setting the fastest lap so far. 156.8. It goes through a bit of a slide and does love tap the wall there. So he has to be very careful. Probably going to limp himself back to the pits now, I would
Ooh,
assume. But
SA has just crashed out towards the middle of Sector 3 there.
yep, I've seen that just on camera there with Ames. Trying to see if we've got another person. We've got one of the Haas drivers
Wubsy's
here,
about to come
Wubsy.
around, yeah.
Yep, so let's have a look there. I believe, yeah, so yep,
Oh,
straight into the wall. You can see the tire is right up on top of the car. Drummer as
Drummer
well.
out as well. He was on
Out
the
of the
end of his
race.
hot lap, I believe.
Yeah, there's an
Or did he
AlphaTauri heading that
retire in the
way.
pits?
There's an AlphaTauri heading that way. We'll be able to have a
Oh,
look there.
yep.
Yeah, no, he's just sent it right into the wall. Very awkward position
Yeah, after turn
as well,
3.
going into the wall there on viewpoint with
He's not on
Fluxy.
the racing line, at least.
Yeah, so that's going to be okay. But that's one of our Academy League commentators there. Very unfortunate for him, sitting into the wall. We've already got 3 guys absolutely just destroyed, really, out there on the track after this one. And that, I want to say the body counts were going to go up by the end of this qualifying.
Yeah,
I want to
definitely.
point out as well, Bassing actually looking to come out of the pits. He's on the intermediates. He's gonna be the first driver to try and see if he's going to be able to get that going. But I believe,
I don't know if he'll be able to make that work here.
yeah, I think maybe he's going to wait closer and closer to see if the track does dry up a little bit after you've got quite a few cars out there driving on the tarmac, right, to get rid of some of that standing water, and hopefully just for the game to let up on some of the rain. We'll have to see.
Recon
Recon's
is out as well at the start of Sector 3, and Foxy was on a hot lap.
I'll be putting with Fluxy, just watching that as well. Yeah, Recon, another one I can see. I think it was the front left-hand tire just completely bent up right over the car. So a lot of guys being caught out here. The brakes potentially just failing, or maybe locking up with the water. It's just sliding straight into the walls here. So
it's just
a very deadly circuit.
So
at the moment.
punishing. Like it. Oh, King Cairo loses a bit of traction, but manages to save it. It's coming into the DRS zone now, up where Recon lost it. I think he's aborted this lap by the look of it.
Yeah, absolutely, he's aborted it. Looks like he's just going to take it slow for a bit, maybe go back to the pits and get a fix up, or maybe try to go for one more lap. We'll have to wait and see. Another send-off. The other Alpine driver going off there just outside of Sector 1. That's Slimy Tabby.
Yeah.
And of course, one of our main admins here at ARL, having a bit of trouble as well out there on the track at the moment.
Doesn't quite look like he's picked up any damage on the front wing there, so he may be able to go for another lap before, well, unless he needs to refuel. But we do still have plenty of time left in the session. We've got 8 minutes, so plenty of time for anyone to get in another lap.
Yeah, it looks like he went off to the off-ramp area, kind of where Siphon went before he unfortunately got disqualified.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, definitely.
Had probably one of the luckiest places to maybe bottom out a little bit there. But still 8 minutes 21 here left on qualifying. It's still Kebab up the top there with a 156.827. Fluxy just behind him. Probably the closest you can get, really, realistically, right? A 156.833. The second place there for the AlphaTauri as well. So, a lot of guys have to try and catch up to that. Got a couple 157s and one or two 158s and 159s here at the moment. And there's still quite a few guys out there that need to set themselves a qualifying lap. We're looking at Shinudi at the moment. He's on his out lap, looking to go for a potential lap as well. We're also still waiting for SGN, Kevin on Earth, and Bassing as well. Normally, a lot of guys look towards that midfield or even some of the top field of the division as well, just looking to set themselves a fast lap. You can also see Bassing has again swapped over the intermediate and gone back to the wet
did,
tires.
yeah. I think he went straight back to the wets almost immediately after we spoke about it. So I'm not sure if he selected them as an accident or maybe it was just optimistic wishful thinking. Because this track is way too wet at the moment for the intermediates to work. Everyone out there on full wets is having trouble keeping it out of the wall. So, as I say that, he's gone back onto the inters.
Right,
I think he's just trolling this.
No, I'm definitely sure about him. Bass, if you're listening in, mate, all right, I have you on speed dial and DMs, mate. All right, don't let me message Dover to chase you down. All right, it's all well and good, but yeah, still on board here with Shinudi. Look like he's getting himself a pretty decent lap here at the moment. Yeah, he's gonna run maybe a tiny bit wide on some of these corners, but gotta remember, right, 100% rain out there on those wet tires as well. Trying to get that groove going, that pace going, it's going to be so difficult here at the moment because he's already got a time of 2 minutes point 2. He's looking to improve on that, get himself higher up into the top 10 field, especially with his teammate Drummer already being taken out a little bit early in the qualifying, who's also got a 2 minutes point 2, just 9.4 instead of 7.2, slightly behind his teammate there at the moment. Going through the final sections here through sector 3, this place is very, very dangerous. Under the bridge here, time after time, we've seen so many drivers be caught out and take out a whole pack of drivers by setting up a nice perfect roadblock. Great for burnout, maybe not so much for Formula Ones. As you get towards the final sweeping left here, so very important to hit this correctly and not over rev the car in the rain. It was very, very close there.
He does improve though. That's almost a 2-second improvement. That's a 1.6-second improvement there. So.
Very big improvement. And I just want to point out there, we did see on camera, unfortunately, Kevin on Earth straight into the DHL pit straight wall there. He got himself caught out on that sweeping left hand by the looks of it, and has unfortunately been taken out right on the very hard left of the pit straight there. So another unfortunate takeout there for the Red Bull team. Although there's a couple intermediate tires coming out here, James, now.
Ooh,
5 minutes left to go.
Maybe it's drying up a little bit, or maybe they're just trying to see if they can work, or make them work. Sorry. So most of the guys on the inters, so we've got Bassing who's on an outlap at the moment on the inters, but the rest of them are sort of top 7 at the moment. We've got Nordal in 7th, he's the lowest down in the inters. They've already got those banker laps set, so maybe they're just trying to see if they can make them work, knowing that if they fail and spin to the wall and bin it, they still have a fairly good chance of being top 10.
Yeah, exactly right. Or, I mean, it could even be with the race, right? The race could still be raining, but maybe not as wet. They want to look towards getting that time in the intermediates as well, so we'll have to wait and see. But I definitely want to keep an eye on the likes of Bassing here at the moment. It's just past the pitch straight line going for his lap. For those unaware, Bassing, very big name in the oceanic esports community scene, especially in Rocket League, and is also one of the main drivers for the RLO racing team over for iRacing as well. Been in plenty of huge endurance races over the past year and a half alongside Dover, and normally a stand-in driver. I believe the last time might have been with Christy Average, if I'm not mistaken. But got plenty of experience out there on Le Mans, at Daytona, at Spa, a lot of major endurance races. But of course, a lot of those tracks, you're not racing those formulas and those endurance races. So he does have a lot of skill behind the wheel. Can he translate it here behind the wheel of an F1 car? I know I've had quite a few battles with him myself as an F1 driver. A year has gone by now, but let's see if he can take it to the rest of the drivers here on the field.
He definitely looks like he's making the intermediates work at the moment. It will be tough to compare his splits to anyone else because he hasn't done any laps at the moment, so we can't really see if he's up or down versus his previous laps. But it looks not too bad. He's not losing traction anywhere. It looks pretty rapid. He's just set a purple sector 2, so he's looking like he's going to be in for a shot at the pole position here.
Yeah, with the AlphaTauri colours, always been stuck with the Red Bull on his formula, whether it be Red Bull itself or AlphaTauri. Coming in here through the DHL underbridge sector, a little bit late on the brakes there. Luckily, just holds on. We'll be able to keep that going through some of the final chicane here in that final sweeping left. Makes liberal use of the yellow there, the off track, but does have to catch the car a bit as it goes through that final sweeping left here. Perfectly goes through there. No slide at all. 154.892 absolutely destroys the current pole position time on Kebab. And yeah, I'd be scared right now if I was the rest of the drivers. I think here, James, that time, that's Division 1 worthy time. I think that's insane.
Well, I think that's actually the first lap that we've had completed on the inters. So it'll be interesting to see if the rest of these guys out on the inters now will be able to maintain or improve on that time, or if Bassink really is that far ahead of all of them.
Well, let's use that. Let's use Fluxy, his teammate, as an example. He's about to complete his lap here. Not too far behind as well. Of course, you're going to buy yourself quite a bit extra time here. Incident in Sector 2. Seems like one of the McLarens has been caught out there, but it might be Foxy. We'll keep an eye on that in just a second as we keep on board here with Fluxy. Going to complete the final time for now. Yeah, 154.054. So
the track is drying out big time.
Yeah. A lot of fast times going to be coming out here now, but there's only a minute 20 left, and these guys are really going to got it now. They want to try and get into, I guess, now really that top 5 spot with these 154, especially even 153 on the table.
Yeah, I'm on board with Chu here. He's just started his hot lap on the intermediates here. So
Kara goes up 154.9 as well into 3rd place.
Excellent. Yeah, the track is definitely drying out, and this is one of those situations where you want to be on the track right now. You want to be doing your pace lap for this qualifying session right now. It's the driest the track has been for the whole session, and yeah, it's looking like the times are going to come down significantly.
Nordal joins the pack now, 154.880, just sneaking ahead of Bassink, being in that AlphaTauri sandwich there in the top 3. Chu still on board with him, looking to see if he can complete his lap. Kebab will also have an opportunity to try and improve on his lap also, as there was one of the Haas drivers there out of the race. I believe he might have been, I don't know if he decided to do that on purpose or if he did get damaged, I'm not too sure. I'll have to keep an eye on that in a moment, as we're still on board here with Chu. One of the most dangerous sections of the track, between that little chicane through Sector 3 and this sweeping left here with that bridge part. Always terrifying. I don't think there's a single driver that likes that corner at all. If you do, you're a madman, and you're probably lying, so stop lying to us, because that's just absolutely not needed. Hard right here, coming into what will be Sector 3 in just a moment, and Saki's should definitely, hopefully get himself into that top 5, the way he's driving at the moment.
Yeah, this is looking really good through here. He's holding some of those gears for a little bit longer. He's trying to avoid doing the extra shifts. I'm not sure if that'll end up playing to his advantage or not. We'll see.
Some quick time updates as well, as we're about to see Chu cross the line. Panache 7.5, 154.863, with Ames 29 getting a 154.7. So a lot of fast times having around the 154.8 mark.
There he goes.
Will come out of nowhere. 153.765. 3rd place driver standings at the moment, because he missed out, unfortunately, here at Silverstone last week. He's back here for Singapore, definitely on the hunt. As I say that, though, that gets improved on Nordal with the 153.552, the surviving Red Bull driver out here with the fastest lap of the race.
So we've still got Kebab to finish here. He's about to come across the line. This is his first lap on the inters. He was pole on the wets for a while, and he sets a 152.6. Wow. Absolutely demolishes everyone else by almost a second.
Remember how I said to be scared of Bassink? Yeah, I'm gonna. Sorry, Bass. I'm gonna have to correct that. Everyone should be scared of one kebab, unless you enjoy kebabs, in which case you're probably laughing right now. But The rest of the drivers, not so much. The only driver to get a 152 and almost a whole second up on second place.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is rapid.
Wow.
It'll be interesting to see if he can maintain this pace for the race, or if it was just the sheer fact of the track drying up, which allowed him to drop the time down by so much compared to everyone else.
And of course, you can get the 101 excuses book out, right? He was the last driver to cross the line. It was the driest point. He's got that advantage, but almost a whole second. It's going to be more than just, I think, the track being a little bit drier than the last driver to cross the line. I think there's going to be a little bit more extra to that for some reason.
All right, we've got TAC tip off. We've got some insider trading in the Twitch chat from some of the guys that are talking in with the guys, and it's saying that the race is going to be dry.
All right, so that was the worry we were talking about at the beginning of qualifying here, right, James? Where that car set up. Do you set up for the qualifying and go all in with the downforce, or are you gonna set up your car mainly for the race and just try and get a midpoint quality advantage and hope you can push that in the race?
Well, I think you're using pretty significant downforce here anyway, even in the dry.
Yeah.
Like, personally, I run 1111 wings here. Some of these guys maybe a little bit less downforce than that, but I don't imagine it would be by much. Look, here we go.
Yeah, it looks like we're skipping the formation lap here, jumping straight into the race here. Round 8 here for the ARL Division 2 Championships. Fantastic start here for the drivers, but watch out, infamous turn 1 here at Singapore. The Red Bull Nordal already spun out here through Sector 1, having a lot of guys having to weave, dodge in and out. I haven't seen any other damage come out from any other drivers yet, but that's very unfortunate there. Nordal put in so much work, so much effort to get into that top 3 spot, and a lot of that already done and dusted. Also seeing Shinudi actually dropped all the way back here, down in the 20th, got caught out there through Sector 1 also by looks of it.
Yeah, that was a interesting decision by Nordal to make that move there, but I imagine that may be contention for FIA later on after the race.
So we'll have to have a look at that later on, but for now the race continues. Of course, a bit of a scare, no safety car here at the moment. Already having, looks like, another yellow through Sector 2 here at the moment.
Yeah,
not seeing what got caught out with the Haas drivers.
Wubsy, one of the Haas drivers, went around. Took him quite a bit of time to recover.
Yeah, one of our top 5 drivers here in the division as well would have been caught out, but we'll say we've seen Wubsy been caught out at the beginning of the race in the past and has been able to make great recoveries towards the end. So for now, we won't count him out just yet here at the moment, but already tons of great battles happening all throughout the field here at the moment. Yeah, and we're only on lap 1, of course, at the moment. We've got 31 laps here. 100% a race here at Singapore at Marina Bay, and I think it's going to be interesting seeing how a lot of drivers go through Sector 3 now without all that rain, right, all over the track, and seeing how they handle it, how much, I want to say, they want to try and just send it through here, if they're going to be a little bit scared the first few laps, or they're just going to go all in. We're already seeing quite a few guys going wide there through the midfield.
So interestingly, if we look at the tyre here, the tyres here, almost the clean majority of the field, probably half or more of them, started on the mediums. Kim Cairo started on the softs, so he's up in 3rd on the softs. It's going to be interesting to see if he can push hard and gain some more positions before he is forced to pit, before those softs drop off too much.
Yeah, we already know as well, we've seen quite a few hards, the hard discussion been a thing for a while. Now that we've been talking about a fair bit, right, James, saying it's not really the tyre to go for at the moment in 2021, but I can definitely say, at least for 2020's game, the hard tyre was one of the best tyres you could run here at Singapore, and actually can catch quite a few drivers out if you can run the hard tyre strat to its perfection and really run those tyres right to the end of the race. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone wants to still try and go for that comp here in the 2021 game, or if it will be looking more towards those medium and soft tyres, maybe seeing a 2-stop. We'll have to wait and see for now, as Tabby's actually been taken out of the race here.
Ooh, yep, we've got a VSC.
Camera.
Him coming out of the race triggers the virtual safety car, so everyone's dropping their pace down. This is probably going to work in Cairo's favour if you can make those softs last a little bit longer.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one, especially so when Kebab was utmost almost 3 seconds ahead of second place in Chill as well. It's gonna drop down the time a little bit while the VSC is out. We'll have to keep an eye out as well if anyone gets bit by the Delta Snake as
Yeah,
well, and if anyone does get that
yeah.
drive through. We've seen that happen a number of weeks now, unfortunately, for some of our drivers.
Yeah, it happened almost very nearly happened to me last night where I had my foot off the accelerator completely for almost 5 seconds and that delta just did not go down. I ended up having to actually slam on the brakes. And we've got a collision with Wubsy and Shanudi under
Yeah,
VSC.
couple of collisions in the pits actually it seemed like there as well. So
Oh, okay.
some of these
Yeah.
guys are gonna have to swap out wings and tires now instead of just tires. So that's gonna be devastating for a lot of guys at the back who are already so far behind here at the road. A lot of work they're gonna have to put in here to try and bring it back if they're even able to. Gonna be hoping for a lot of safety cars at the moment. But the VSC's ended. DRS is now active, of course, no rain, so that's gonna be up and running a lot. And should be starting to see what has already been quite a few big battles get even bigger here. A lot of DRS trains potentially happening. I'm seeing a lot of orange, red, and blue in that top 10 area. That's definitely going to be a sight to behold in that DRS zone. A bit of battle there, I believe. There's between AlphaTauri and a Haas going wheel to wheel almost, entering Sector 3.
Yeah, Flixie gets Werribee there. Sorry, Werribee there. Cairo's still stuck behind Chu just in front of them as well. He needs to get past Chu as soon as possible because without clean air in front of him, he's just being held up. He may as well be on the mediums essentially if he can't get past Chu. So he's just burning through those tyres without taking full advantage of the speed bonus that he's actually should be getting.
And he's burning through that ERS as well, just trying to get as much speed as he can. He's going to hopefully have to hope that the DRS is going to be able to give him that extra speed to go for the overtake. But I must say, True out here being the widest car on the track. Absolutely perfect defensive driving coming out with the medium tires. If you just hold on a couple more laps, you can see he's already holding on here as Kinkara's going for the inside for now. A bit of a dive. Thank God for that extra bit of wide track there. Holding on there so there's no major accident. Chu able to hold on the second.
Yeah, that was, I don't know if it was well defended or very recklessly defended, but either way, he defended it and he maintained his position there when I thought for sure King Cairo had him.
That tiny bit of extra road, that tiny bit of runoff, just saving Chu. But there's another big DRS straight here. Can he go 2 for 2 here at the moment? Is able actually to slow down Kinkaro a little bit here. Get that ERS advantage, is able to hold on. Kinkaro just doesn't have the speed to keep up.
Yeah, I think he just can't get that better exit out of that corner. It's such a slow corner that the exit speed on the mediums and the softs is not massively different. And because he's essentially behind Chu anyway in that corner, there's not much room to take any different lines. He just has to wait for Chu to get going before he can.
So a huge battle here happening for second, and Chu's flying away now from Kinkaro as well, getting a bigger advantage here. So Kinkaro backing off is going to have to build up his ERS. He's only got back up to 30% now. I was going to say he was only on 25% leading into that first corner for now. And so you're really going to have, what, 1 or 2 more chances, if that, to really try and bring this one back and get his second place spot. But the problem is, when he gets to second, his tyres are already going to be pretty much shot from trying to get second in the first place. Then he's going to have to play major defense against Chu.
Yeah, definitely. He's already, you can see the interval between him. He's dropping back. He's not as far up that gearbox of Chu as he was even the last lap, let alone a few laps ago. He's almost out of DRS range. And if he loses that DRS, that's going to significantly affect him.
So for now, maybe Kinkaro is going to play the long game. For now, although he's just going to get DRS advantage here. We'll just keep a quick eye to see if he'll be able to keep up. And that'll be the case though. Chu's just going to run away with it. And I believe Kinkaro for now might be looking to just try and play it safe a little bit longer for now. Still plenty of laps left here for round 8. The Division 2 championships here at ARL. So doesn't have to just completely tunnel vision it for now. But definitely a fight to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep visiting back to them. Actually, it looks like Kyra might be looking to make a move on him now. No, he's just getting up on his gearbox again. Further down, we've got a nice battle between Drummer and Foxy, with Kevin on Earth close behind.
Lucy's actually sent it. He spun it out
Oh no.
entirely
No.
there, just on the exit on that
Oh,
final
and he hit his
left
wing there
hand
too.
there. Coming out of the chicane there at the moment. He's going to jump a couple positions. Not going to bleed too many out. He's just down to 8th. We know Fluxy can definitely make up the pace to get some of those positions back, but that doesn't mean it's something he's going to want here out of the situation, right? So a bit of a fight there for Fluxy to bring himself back up, further up the board once more. Also want to bring up as well, and I saw some of the guys in the chat were asking about some of the penalties happening at the moment. It is going to be a whole bunch of 5 seconds coming up there for Nordal, Shanuti, Recon, and Wubsy. Of course, if you have only just joined us now, that was from a bit of pit stop antics.
I think it was all collisions under safety car, or virtual safety car, sorry.
Collisions under VSC while they're entering the pits, I believe. They're trying to match that speed limiter. Some of the guys got a little bit too late on the brakes, and it's just unfortunate you got those 5 seconds built up. So that's where those penalties have come from. Of course, they'll be able to serve those in their next pit stop and be able to remove those 5 seconds, but it is something they're going to have to account for, of course, when they do enter the pits the next time round. So
yeah, just while we were discussing that, Cairo sort of got right up behind Chu and then accidentally ran wide on the exit of one of the corners. Fortunately, it was one of the ones that had a bit of a runoff zone. I don't believe he sustained damage. We had Ekim in chat asking if he got damage. I don't believe he did, although he is pitting now, but that could just be to get off the soft. So we'll see if they replace the wing here.
yeah, I couldn't see any damage myself, but it could have always been that light damage, right? Where even that little bit could potentially end the race if you don't get that sorted quick smart. So he's going to be going on to the mediums. I'm not seeing a wing. So
No.
yeah, looks like the wing is all okay. He's just swapping onto the mediums. Only doing 5 laps there on the soft tires.
Yeah, well, they do start to drop off significantly after those 5 laps. This track is brutal on the tires, absolutely brutal. It's almost essentially guaranteed a 2-stopper this race, I think. The only way you can pull off a 1-stopper is if you do hard mediums. And even then, I'm not actually sure if that's any quicker than doing a 2-stopper on medium softs.
Yeah, it's always that battle, right? Like, do I go for the hards, or am I able to leave them alone and go for that 2-stop? Is the time going to match, or is that going to cost me potentially a top 3 or even first place finish in the race? And Singapore is always one of those tracks where I would say you're always second guessing that strategy, right, James? I feel like I'm always second guessing my strategy out of the track. I don't know about yourself, but I always feel like it's one of those tracks where it's like, can I get like an extra lap or 2 out of these tires, or am I going to be done for if I do that? So always one of the hardest battles strategy-wise, I feel, in Marina Bay.
Especially these drivers in Div 2, where the damage model isn't... Ooh. Oh,
yeah.
We had
SGN
someone stop on track.
Yeah, SGN locked up his brakes there.
Yeah, okay.
But you were saying, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, before that happened. With especially the damage model they're using in Div 2, or the damage settings rather, these guys are going to be questioning, is there going to be a safety car? Like, can I hold out for another 2 laps? If I do 2 more laps, is there going to be a safety and I can pit under that, save myself heaps of time? So it's really, really tempting on these street circuits with the standard damage to try and go that little bit farther, and then that can result in spins, which will result in a safety car, but by the time you spin, the safety car's a bit useless, isn't it?
By that point, it's almost like hoping for rain. If you see rain on the forecast, and it's like, oh, it's definitely coming, don't worry, and it never shows up. I can't tell you how many races I've lost because the game says there's going to be rain, and it never comes. So your whole strategy goes out the window, and you finish in about 8th, crying in the garage, wondering how everything went wrong. SGN heading into the pits now as well. He's going to have a wing change as well as medium tires. He had a spin out through sector 3 through the tough chicanes there. He didn't go straight into the wall, but I believe he did tap it fairly hard. So going to lose a bit of extra time there, and Kakaro's teammate here, both him and SGN, fighting real hard for that constructors title at the moment, both in first place for that at the moment. Gonna have to make up quite a bit of time himself now, hopefully the medium tires, and gonna have to make the most out of them. But when a fair few of the drivers are pretty heavy on some of their laps, a lot of them being mediums and softs, and even penalties to deal with, I think he should be okay to hopefully make back quite a few positions here.
Yeah, so I believe the mediums can do, what, approximately 15 laps. Someone in chat, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe mediums is about 15, softs is about 5 to 7. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out again, because I think majority of these drivers still have two stops left. We'll see what they decide to do.
Already seeing Wobbsy out here, even though he's right at the back with the fastest lap on the fresh soft tyres at 139.8. Of course, that's still not where we're expecting to see some of the fastest laps be at, but it goes to show some of these guys are getting a little bit more comfortable with the track, especially when they're able to get some open air, a bit of a lighter car on the soft tyres for now, so I have to keep an eye on that later on. But yeah, I'm interested to see if we're going to just see medium hard strats come out. Maybe see some of these drivers not even touch the softs at all, right? Because I think this is going to be one of the only tracks where you might be actually get away with that, but just because of how much they eat the tires up.
Yeah, I think the guys that started on the hards, that's probably their game plan. These guys that started on the mediums, Kebab, Chew, wherever, pretty much everywhere from first down to sixth at the moment, they still have their options open. They can go medium to hards, or they can go medium soft, or if there's a safety car, they may do something different, and when that safety car comes out, it may completely change the strategy on the fly, so we'll see.
It all comes down to that safety car, right? I think that is it. I mean, normally in other races it is as well, but there's something about Singapore, right, where it will quite literally can decide finishing positions here just because of strats coming out for these guys if they're able to get away with soft tires. A little bit of drama happening through sector 2. I don't know if there was a spin or not.
Yeah,
I believe there was a small incident between Foxy and Drummer. I believe that was, at least I can see on the mini map.
I don't think Drummer was involved in the incident. I think Foxy just tapped the wall or lost a lot of traction and then took a bit to recover, and Drummer's just caught up.
Yeah. And just an update, of course, on the finishing position, or sorry, the current race positions here at the moment. Kebab leads the race here. I'm getting a 5.4 second interval here at the moment.
He is pulling
away.
away.
Absolutely insane. A reminder, he's brand new here to Div 2, and he's definitely showing up the rest of the field here at the moment. That's going to be followed by your third place drivers championship driver here in Chu. And followed by, I believe that's pronounced Weruboy here in third place for Haas as well. Sneaking in here into that top 3 spot. That's going to be followed by Bassing and Ames for your top 5 here at the moment. But
Cairo and Tickle Me SA were just battling, and SA just goes nose first into the corner.
Keep an eye on Kevin here. We should be able to see the damage
safety car
of SA. So that safety car I was talking about, right, is going to determine, and yep, straight into the wall. Very, very dangerous spot there if you don't slow down a ton at the moment. I mean, some of these guys, luckily Ghosting's on. I was going to say, luckily some of these guys might accidentally hit him if they're not too careful, because that's right on the blind spot of that right-hander as well. Very hard right-hander to get through. So safety cars coming out here. Of course, there's still 21 laps to go. Now, I could potentially have an argument here, James, for some of these guys to maybe pull out the hards, leave that for the rest of the race, and maybe go for softs at the end if there's another end safety car or something, right? Because they'll last you to the end, and with some of the times the top guys are getting, I could potentially see that. Although some guys might even want to push those medium tires past their braking point. I know there's a couple guys out here that could potentially do that, who seem to be very well at tire efficiency.
We have these front runners, Kebab and Chew, and Weruboy, and Bassink. They're all pitting again for mediums. They're all going for back-to-back medium stints.
I think that confirms the soft tire to end things off then for the race here. Of course, these guys got to be careful because that's both medium tires used up now. So if there's an incident, if they get caught up in something, they're going to have to be forced to use the hard tires anyway. So, of course, it's not something they're going to be thinking about, right? That's the last thing on your mind is being caught in an incident and having to worry about that. But it is something just to keep in the back of your minds, of course, as the race continues. And we've already seen a fair few incidents so far. We could potentially see a hell of a lot more by the end of the race. There's that right-hander looking at Kebab right now, where unfortunately saw Essay go straight into the wall and got himself taken out of the race for now, as the guys are going to start to catch up, build up a line once more. Going to check the pits again real quick to see what tires coming out. There seems to be a lot more medium tires coming out for the guys here as well. So it looks like it's going to be a medium field, except for maybe one or two guys out on the hard tires. Foxy, unfortunately, pitted for the hard tires a lap before the safety car, so he's going to be stuck on those for now, but he might be able to sneak away with some extra positions if he's able to keep his head down and keep on those tires for the rest of the race.
I don't know what exactly happened there. I think we missed it, but Kevin on Earth has actually picked up a drive-through penalty. So that must have been speeding under safety car.
Yeah, I'm going to assume the same thing. It's going to be rough as well, because we already know that some of the Red Bull guys, especially Kevin, had a bit rough with the qualifying, right? It was only really Nordal that was able to keep it out on the track towards the end. So they're having to deal with that as well. I mean, and also being on the soft tires. So at least he's going to be able to make some time back when he goes to the drive-through after the safety car goes back into the pits. Should be in about a lap or so's time. The safety car should head back in.
Yeah, the field's still not grouped up here, so it's definitely not in this lap. On Singapore, it usually tells you pretty far in advance when the safety car is coming in. It's usually around like before mid-sector 3, it'll tell you that the safety car is coming in most of the time. So they should have plenty of time for these guys to react. They're just going to have to make sure that their tyres are warm prior to that, especially these hard runners, because you don't have enough time to warm them up. The circuit in the back half of Sector 3 under safety car is too slow to get them up to temp.
And I'm even slightly worried as well, James, just through Sector 1. Yes, it's not going to be like a start of race in like type of scenario, but there's still going to be a ton of cars all lined up, all trying to outbrake and dive from each other, right, through that fast section. Yeah. The beginning of Sector 1, and
all with cold tires, cold mediums, exactly right. Don't even have anyone on the softs.
So I'm, slightly worried, but also curious to see. Well, first of all, who's gonna have the guts, I'll say, to go for it in the first place.
The guts or the stupidity, we'll see.
Yeah, either or, right? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, Kebab's racing the safety car.
I was about to say, he's right up alongside it there.
I mean, let's be honest, the only race he's had all race, so we'll just leave that one alone. It's that's going to be to see where certain guys are they going to be able to gain a position or so, or even get into the mind of the guy you're chasing down, right? Because if you're able to do that and keep on their tail, even if it's just all throughout Sector 1, maybe even all through Sector 2, and just get into the mind of that opposing driver, you might better psych him out, maybe get him to spin out, or go a little bit too wide through a corner, brake too late, something like that, and you might be able to stick a position maybe a lap or two's time from now by the time the safety car goes in. So always the mind games you've got to watch out for as well, especially as you get into the higher divisions where it does come down to obviously strategy and stuff is one thing, but how well can you, I want to say, outrace your opposing drivers?
Yeah, we've got a little bit more insider trading here. So apparently the forecast is possible rain towards the end of the race. So that's just the forecast at this stage. We don't know if that will actually end up eventuating, but that is the forecast, as we are in for another lap here under safety car conditions.
Alright, well this should be the last lap, I would assume, because we've only got about 3 guys left to catch up, and they're not too far away now, at least 16th and 17th. Well, obviously still a fair bit behind, but shouldn't be too much longer for them. But another long safety car like this, I think that rain discussion might actually be relevant, James, coming into this one.
Yeah, that's true.
This has already been out for quite some time.
The longer this race goes on, I imagine probably the more chance it'll rain at the end.
Yeah, and we already saw what happened in qualifying. I'm a little bit terrified to see what's going to happen during the race. When qualifying is one thing, but the race is what matters, right?
Yeah.
And that's where it's going to come down. I want to point out, Siphon, he had a shocking qualifying session, being caught out by the rain and unfortunately being disqualified for trying to stay out of everyone's rain, being parked off on the off-ramp area. Actually, literally just up here, I believe it was, on his camera view right now. Out up to 9th place, 10-lap old hard tires here, seeing him sway up into the top 10. So him and Chew are definitely going to be cheering right now because Chew's been holding on to 2nd place all race essentially, and Siphon's made up what 11 positions in 13 laps. So we'll say about 10 laps. We'll discount some of the safety car laps as well. Not too bad considering he still hasn't. I don't believe he's actually gone to the pits just yet either.
Yeah, well, those hards are 10 laps old, as you were saying. So he has pitted once.
Oh, he has pitted once.
It was towards
the
the
race.
start, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this restart is going to be brutal for him on 10 lap old hards. Even if he can get them up to operating temp, as we have the safety car in this lap. But he's got Kevin right behind him on the softs, fresh softs. Like, it's going to be hard.
But, you know, he does have a bit of strategy here. He's got Kevin behind him. He's also got Nordal, SGN, Recon, and Wubsy. So if he's able to keep some of those guys behind, or even stall them up for at least a bit of time, well, first off, it's going to help Chew out anyway, right? Because Chew is battling some of these guys in the Drivers' Championships. But also, you think about the Constructors as well. They're going to hold... If he's able to hold off some of these other guys who are getting pretty close in that constructor spot, because Mercedes were 2nd 2 weeks ago, they're now down to 4th.
Ooh, that was close.
They need to try and make back some of those team points, right? So if he's able to do that at least before his next pit and then really push it towards the end, he should be okay. But we are going to have our first official race restart here.
And he's off. There he goes.
Division 2 of the ARL Championships here, round 8 at Singapore.
We have
Kebab
yellow
already sending it off.
Champagne in the back.
Yeah, Champagne caught out there. We're going to keep an eye through the top of the field here, through the first chicane. Seems to be pretty straightforward for everyone. Not going to have any antics of sorts just yet. And yeah, it seems like we're just going to have normal race conditions here for now as everyone just builds into and settles into that train once more.
Yeah, it didn't look like there were any too many drastic changes of position on that restart, obviously with the exception of Champagne unfortunately spinning in the back there. There were a couple of times there where Chew was so keen right up behind Kebab, very, very nearly collided under the safety car.
Yeah, and I think we need to go back to the Siphon discussion here at the moment, James. Look how much he is holding up that on the bottom half of the field here at the moment. Great defensive driving coming out from him though at the moment to hold on to this 9th place spot, especially so when he's surrounded by penalties. Kevin on Earth still has that drive through. We've got to remember that as well here at the moment, and Panache with the 3 seconds ahead. So
it's a very, very similar situation to what we saw at the start with King Cairo on the softs and Chew in front of him on the mediums, where like Kevin on Earth is right behind Siphon. He's got almost fresh softs and Siphon's got these 11-lap old hards. But Kevin may as well be on 11-lap old hards. Like, if he can't pass him, he's essentially on the same tyres.
And not to mention as well, he's really just a moving roadblock at the moment because of that drive-through penalty. He's going to have to serve it. He's going to go to serve it now.
Yeah.
And now the real race is going to happen here for that 9th place spot.
I think that's the right choice too. If you can't pass him yet, just do your drive through now. You'll get clean air for your fresh softs, which means you can hopefully make up ground. So when you do eventually have to pit later on, your softs have at least done something.
Yeah, but that's the worrying part as well, right? Is yes, it says 3-lap old softs. We know that's not exactly correct because behind the safety car, but they're still slightly old. We know they're only going to last 4 to 5 laps at best. He's going to have to be racing really under hot lap qualifying conditions to really make back that pace, because then he's going to have to pit again anyway, and he's going to lose a majority of that time straight up. So he's already got such a tough situation that he's stuck in that I'm worried for him if he's actually going to be able to get himself out of it.
Yeah. We've got a yellow in Sector 2 there, Champagne. Again, just spinning out a little bit there. No VSC or anything caused by that. He's able to get moving again.
Yeah, we'll give the position over to Kevin as well, nice and easy. I don't know if Champagne has damage. You might have minor wing damage, not too sure, but yeah, we'll definitely give that position back here for now. Siphon still holding on here through Sector 3 at the moment. Drummer and Nordal, though, you can tell they're hungry. They want that 9th place spot. They want to push up. They want to go join the rest of the pack here. DRS is now enabled, so that's going to have to be another problem.
Yeah, I think they'll get him. I think they'll definitely get him now with the DRS enabled, depending on battery. So Drummer's still got heaps of battery, so does Nordal. Siphon's been draining his a little bit.
Yeah, but that's the funny part as well, though, right? We expected that to be the case, but Chu was able to hold off Cairo for all that time when it was softs and the mediums. The mediums to hards are still a thing as well. One of the Ferraris, so hang on, Shinudi has been caught out here. I'm not seeing wing damage, but Devin caught himself out big time. Bit over rev there, lad. He's gonna have to chill out a little bit and
Drummer and Siphon. Siphon runs very wide in order to keep the position. There was some close racing there, and Siphon was essentially forced wide out of the corner. Managed to keep the position because of it. Did run off the track though, and I suspect he would have picked up a warning for that.
A warning for now, but you know, you can be liberal and make use of some of those as well. You got 2 you can use before you get that penalty. So I have to wait and see. Drummer big dive, big dive, big break there into the DRS straight. They're going side by side here at the moment, but Siphon does have the inside. He should be able to hold on to it here for now and still gain control.
And then the Red Bull rear ends him as well.
Yeah, Nordal touch tires there as well, so Drummer will get that spot, but it's a very controversial overtake potentially there, going right up his behind. We'll have to keep an eye on that one at the end of the race here. But even still, Siphon, yes, he bleeds 1, but there's still about 5, 6, 8,000 others behind him he still needs to hold on to for his teammate in Chewy in 2nd place.
It's getting a little bit spicy up towards the front as well, as Basink is massively closing that gap on Werribee. He's looking to overtake him, and he wants to make a run for the podium.
Yeah, Flukesy, fair bit behind here. He would be the one normally racing harder in that top 5, even top 3 position here, but it looks like he's more than happy to give it over to Basink here for the moment. Kebab gets a 3-second, so that's going to be catch up.
And Basink spins around. I think he may have just lightly bumped the back of Werribee there.
Oh, that's what I saw on my end as well, and it just caught him out. But very unfortunate, going to have to make... Luckily, he doesn't lose too much time, and he gives a position over to his teammate, and it'll give Fleeks the opportunity to push ahead now instead of Basink. But yeah, pushing a little bit too hard there, maybe a little bit of over rev, a little bit of oversteer, catches him out for a slight spin.
Chu unfortunately didn't get DRS range with Kebab through the detection zone there, but he is sort of closing that gap up. So I think we may see a battle for first position here before the end of the race.
And you got to remember as well, with those 3 seconds, right? That's something that Kebab now has to deal with.
Of course, yes.
With how close these guys at the moment, technically Chu is your provisional first place pole sitter here at Singapore.
Yeah,
he was able to keep up in that time. He was able to just sit behind him, you know, not push it too much. Just stick behind Kebab, stay in that 3-second period, 3-second interval, and the race is done and dusted. You've got that one clean in the bag for yourself, which would be great for Chu. Of course, obviously, didn't see him last week. He's back here this week. We're going to get those extra points back from Mercedes, but Kebab is also probably going to push extra harder because of this now. Brand new driver here to Div 2, looking to make his stamp on the Division 2 scene. He has already been absolutely phenomenal through the qualifying, through the race here, just caught out with that 3-second penalty. So
we've got a Red Bull in the back. It's Kevin on Earth. Spun out. I think he clipped the wall. He is going into the pits as well. So I think that's to repair wing damage, because he should be on the mediums, I believe. Oh no, he's on the soft, 6-lap odd soft, so I think he might have been pitting anyway.
Yeah, so gotta remember as well, like 1 or 2 laps of that was behind the safety car, but yeah, he's probably just definitely going to change out the soft tires now anyway, because they would be fairly cooked at this point. We already saw that he had a bit of trouble trying to catch up before anyway, so I think we'll swap those out. I wouldn't be surprised to see medium tires, yep, coming out from there now, but Battle still pushing hard here for first place at the moment. And Chu still going to chase him down. I just want to do a quick update here, though, as well. Here, James, on the Siphon situation. I've seen actually SGN move up into that 10th place spot. And Siphon's managed to get himself quite a bit of a gap now, actually, at the moment. Because we're seeing Drummers back down to 11th. So I'm not too sure what happened there, as they're able to drop a fair few positions.
Well, Foxy's right behind him as well. So I think Foxy's hards, 7 lap old. They're at the point where I think they might be quicker than the 6 lap mediums on Drummer. Foxy looks like they're pushing him quite hard, and they want to make a move, especially with this DRS. Unfortunately, Foxy's got not a lot of battery remaining, so that's going to make it a little bit harder to get it done. But it looks like they will get the move done before they even get into turn 1.
Drummer has almost 100% battery, decides not to use any of it.
Oh wow, okay.
In that situation.
That's
so
interesting.
Sticking behind him for now, maybe hoping that the medium tires do still have a tiny bit of extra grip for the next few laps at least. Maybe hoping for the next DRS or a DRS trade potentially here. He does have it open at the moment. Is pushing with that ERS, but yeah, just won't have that speed unfortunately, as Fox has just built up too much of an extra lead here, and it's going to run away with that 11th place spot.
Yeah, he sort of left it a bit too late to start using his battery there. He definitely should have used at least a little bit of it to defend further towards the start, because you don't want your battery to sit on 100%, because then you're just wasting potential energy that could be going into it. So you want to drain it at least by a little bit, maybe like 5 to 10%, to get you a little bit of extra speed, and then you're not wasting charge in the braking zones.
And not to mention, look how close Recon is. Up, Drummer's behind as well. Now he's got DRS, double DRS coming through. Yes, doesn't have as much ERS as well, but Drummer has to be really careful of this now, because Recon been sitting fairly patiently behind these guys for a while now, but you can see the way he's driving, right? Just the little instances, the way he tackles some of the corners here and there. He wants to get this overtake done on Drummer. He's just waiting for that right moment to strike.
Yeah, Bassink had a bit of a spin there as well in Sector 3. Dropped a position to Ames, and Panache was right behind him. He's gone again. He's gone again.
All right,
those tires,
yeah,
absolutely. They must be cooked. He's spun 3 times in as many laps.
Fluxy's gone. Fluxy's out.
DNF by Fluxy.
Major accident there on the main straight. I'm surprised it's not calling a safety car.
Yeah, he's in the middle of the track.
Straight.
I don't know how that's not a safety car. Look at where that is. Look at the debris all over the road.
That is terrifying. That is a horrific crash.
How is that not a safety car
at the moment? Also,
even on reduced.
Also want to point out Bassink driving straight past his teammate, seeing a car like that.
Right after he's recovered from 2 spins as well. That's going to be a tough mental battle to fight.
Yeah, that is not good at all. That is, and I do want to say, yeah, that crash is horrific. That is a really bad accident, especially if it was in, we'll say, the real F1s. That might be maybe a broken bone potentially. That's it's not good at all, especially because we didn't even see the speed to cause an impact like that, because we know you go pretty quick through there. That is the DRS straight, so very unfortunately weren't able to get that on camera, but very unfortunate for Fluxy as well. I mean, he's been one of the main guys chasing the Drivers' Championship, currently in 2nd place. I believe he'll drop that position to 3rd to 2 now.
Yeah,
at the moment.
So, and first is Cairo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, in Cairo.
Yeah,
yep.
so this is a big race for them. As it stands, we still do have 10 laps to go. But with Chu and Cairo up here on the podiums, essentially as it is now, and Fluxy now DNFing, that's going to make the rest of the season a little bit harder than it really needed to be for him.
Yep, and just want to point out, are you seeing the little droplets of rain, James, at the moment? It's
Ooh, yes.
10 laps left to
yes,
go.
There definitely
a bit
is.
Of rain coming out.
Here it comes again.
We talked about the fact that the rain discussion could become very relevant towards the end of the race if there was another safety car, potentially. Apparently, we don't even need that, because it's here now. It's showing its ugly face once more. Yep. And given a couple laps, we could be seeing those intermediates having to come out very, very quick. I mean, I believe we saw this. It was at Mexico, I believe, James. Right when I first joined the team in ARL,
Yes,
quite a few
yes.
weeks back now,
But
and that strategy, that battle, trying of the right timing of the intermediates was horrific for about half the field. So I'm hoping this time these guys have learned their lesson a little bit here around
uh,
Singapore.
based on what we
And
saw in qualifying, I'm not
yeah,
entirely
maybe
sure
not
about
so
that.
much, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the race, right? So, and we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this is now going to be the battle of can these guys survive on these slicks for the next, I'll say 9 laps almost now,
Well,
or is it
we've
going to
got
be
Chu
time
coming into the
to go to the
pits.
rain?
Chu is coming into the pits. It's way too soon to change onto the wet weather tires. Inter's cannot be good
There's the
here.
Inters. He's going to Inters.
It has to be. It can't be full wets. Yeah, he's putting the Inters on.
Inters
He's put the
oh,
Inters on. I think that might be too soon. That may be a lap or two too soon. We'll have to
I
see.
am terrified right now for Chu because again he missed the race. He had first place. He had it. Kebab right had the 3-second penalty. He just needed to stick behind him, and he's going for these early inters. I saw a bit of sliding coming out of the pits.
Yeah, no,
And
it's got to be. It's got to be way too soon for these. It's got to be way too soon for these.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing a water trail coming out any of the cars at the moment. He's going to have to be so careful. Although it does seem like that rain's getting a bit faster.
Siphon has now also pitted for the Inters.
Yep, seeing the Red Bull Nordal behind him. He's waiting for the 5 seconds for the penalty he had. What's he going to? Mediums onto softs, actually, with a wing change. So I think he's going to go on the softs for now until he gets that wet call in properly. So that's going to be interesting. Also seeing Recon in the pits. Pit watch here at the moment. Those are also going on to the Inters. So we're seeing a fair few guys now.
Interesting.
I wonder
if Nordal, wanted to go Inters and just got put on the softs by accident.
Yeah, maybe by the game.
It seems strange to pit right now for softs, right? Surely even if you had wing damage, unless it was really serious wing damage, try and push one more lap, right, to save you the extra entire stop.
You just hold on as much as possible. I will say, Chu seems to be handling the track fairly well on the Inters at the moment. Drummer gets a 3-second.
He does. He's not overly losing control of the car or anything, but he's not quick either. He's definitely a lot slower than he was on the almost old mediums. And we actually have a spin. Who's that? Champagne in the Williams. Yeah.
Being caught out once more, and that's major wing damage on that front left side as well. So that's going to be a pit stop coming out. He's already got a penalty built up as well. But gonna see, looks like Boy, he's in the pits. He's on the Inters now as well. Chu's gonna have that pit advantage, and we're just watching really these next few laps to see where if Chu's gonna have that advantage going the Inters. A lap, 2 laps, 3 laps potentially early, or if that severe undercut is going to be exactly that severe and it's going to catch him out.
Yeah,
Kebab, Bassing, and Panache are going to remember all have 3-second penalties as well.
Ooh. Bassing looks like he's maybe starting to lose a bit of traction now, so it might be getting to the point where the track is getting a little bit slippery, a little bit wet. Can't see any standing water on there just yet.
I can see a little bit there actually on a bit of the tarmac there. Bassing just went through, like it's starting to form, so you can see it starting to come out. So I think it's pretty safe to say that the end of the race will have to be on Inters.
Yeah, I think now is. I think we're in the crossover period now, and I think now is the time to go for the intermediate tires.
Yeah, it looks like Chu is starting to get a bit of extra speed at the moment. SGN, bit of a slide on the mediums, 14 lap old mediums at the moment. On top of the track getting really wet, this is going to be really difficult for him to drive around the track at the moment. I hope you've got good rally driving skills, my man, because they're going to have to come in fairly handy here at the moment. Siphon as well. He's actually spun it, or maybe a little bit too wide, one or the other. I'm not too sure there on the Inters, fresh Inters as well. So that's caught him out. Oh, he's caught out again. He's gone straight into the wall there, entire front wing.
Oh, that's big
clean
damage.
Off the car.
So he has to pit now. Excuse me for stating the obvious, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you're not wrong though. And he just got disqualified. What happened there?
What? blocking the pit lane. Oh, I see what's happened. So Ames has gone to enter the pit.
Oh,
Either
this is
either
horrible.
lost
And it's called
traction.
safety car.
Yeah, they've either lost traction because of the medium tires in the wet, or just come in too hot, and they've hit the barrier in between the main straight and the pit entry.
Yep.
Which, because they stopped there for just a bit too long trying to reverse out of that barrier or something, they've been disqualified for blocking the pit entry.
So let's do a quick race update. 24 laps out of 31 done and dusted. The rain is back here. We had it absolutely pouring down in qualifying. It's made its return here for the main race, and a lot of guys who went for early intermediates, which is most of the guys actually on the track, have now been caught out because we've got a safety car. So some of them may be caught out. Of course, some of them not their fault, obviously, coming out. They had to stop the intermediate sooner rather than later, but that is going to build up the field for now. And any advantage you could get, especially with Chu, right? He went for that undercut. He's now basically stuck in the same position with his main rival at the moment as Flukes is out of the race, Kincairo, right in front of him. So this is going to be rough because he's actually going to be behind Champagne actually in the safety car lineup at the moment, unless he's able to maybe... No, he's not even going to get a blue flag here because of the safety car conditions. So he's going to be stuck behind Champagne here.
I think it is ARL rules where under safety car back markers are to pull off the track so that the game lets them be passed. I think off the top of my head, but that's really difficult to do on this track, obviously, because it is a street circuit. There aren't a lot of runoff areas that you can just pull off the track and let people pass you. So he's essentially just going to have to get out of the way as fast as possible in the restart.
Yeah, I don't even know how that would work with the actual game settings as well, because unlike maybe some of your other full-on sims where you can clear certain penalties or add penalties or whatnot, Formula One's is pretty straightforward. Whatever the game does is what you get, and that's pretty much it. And we know they are very harsh on illegal overtakes in any capacity. So, and even though, you know, technically it shouldn't be an illegal overtake, it might class it as such. So he might actually just have to be stuck behind him for now until the safety car goes in, and then he's going to have to go for the overtake when Champagne has to give him the position due to a blue flag. So it's going to be rough, but it is what it is. He's going to be have to stuck behind her. He went for that undercut. You go for that risk, you know, and unfortunately it's been caught out. So if you want to say there's an advantage, he's got a cool slipstream for the DRS straight. That, I mean, that's an excuse you could use, I guess. Like all set up, pre-planned. Here's your money in your PayPal account, all sorted. But all jokes aside, yeah, it's just going to be a tough backlog he's going to have to get in front of.
We should see. Hopefully they'll jump out of the way. Hopefully, right at the restart. You would hope.
Yeah. But I mean, Champagne's going to try and race back. He's already that far behind, right? And going through his head, he might want to try and get that split up on Siphon, right? Or try and get a split up on Foxy. Foxy's also stuck on soft tires. Just want to point that out at the moment as well. I say that, and he's out of the race.
He's out of the race. He's gone under safety car conditions.
All right. Hand on my heart, I did not cast a curse that.
You definitely did. You know you did.
I didn't do it. I didn't do that. I'm just like, that's weird. There's a guy with oh, he's gone. Oh, okay. That's. Started dusted.
It's interesting. Did Foxy just pit and go onto softs? Because just a few seconds ago, like less than a lap or two ago, I swear I saw the whole field on the inters.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there, because, well, we do know for a fact, right, he was on hard tires leading into before this had happened. So unless he just swapped to softs and then he went, oh, kind of actually going to go to intermediates.
Yeah, maybe he pitted, and then the game accidentally put him on softs, and he just assumed it would be inters, and then because he was on softs in the rain, he's obviously just lost it.
Or he could have even been trying to set it to inters, and he accidentally double pressed and set it to softs potentially.
Yeah, definitely.
Although I think it goes soft, medium, hard inters, right? So that would have been odd to do. Although I know because he would have used it. He's on his hards, so that shouldn't be an option. Yeah, it's odd. I don't know. It's very weird, but. A very odd situation and very unfortunate, not just for Foxy, but for the McLaren garage. They're done here for Singapore at Division 2 at least. There's no more McLaren guys out on the track. So
very bad race
is down into 5th. That should confirm that Red Bull will move up a constructor spot up into 5th place by the end of this race, as both Nordal and Kevin are, well, they're already ahead of him anyway, right? But now it guarantees it because there's no way that Wisdom can get those extra points. So they will move up a position by the end of the race. SGN gets a 3-second time penalty there. Not too sure what that was about.
I think it was
someone for a late break with safety car.
No,
Recon?
I don't think he's.
And Nordal, what's happened there? Recon and Nordal.
Oh, right
Oh
at the
my
entry to the tunnel.
God.
I wonder if they contacted each other.
Okay.
Or if they've both just gone into the wall, because they're both sitting in the wall in the tunnel there. Nordal's actually right on the racing line. Good thing ghosting is on.
Okay, I'll say it. Yeah, that was my bad. I did cast a curse. Okay, I'll take that one. I did say in the qualifying with the wet, not even just the wet track, but that section
This is
in
under
general, that
safety
section
car too.
and the bridge section are some of the most dangerous parts
definitely.
on any track in the F1 calendar. And I've seen time after time, league after league, that DHL section there through that chicane catch so many drivers out, whether it be accidental, whether it be a driver thing they can go for that overtake, whether it be the rain, brakes locking up, it doesn't matter. It catches so many people out. And yeah, like you said, James, it's lucky that the ghosting is on, because I've seen it without it on, and seen about 5 guys been taken out by a person who needs a speed hop pursuit tier 3 roadblock set up there, ready to go. So that is so rough, and I feel so bad for Recon and Nordal. They were having a great race, both their garages there, and under safety car with laps left to go. Very unfortunate that they just get caught out. And it's just going to get worse, right? Because not only is the track getting wetter as we get driving along, track's getting colder, the tires are getting colder, the brakes are getting colder. Every lap is making things worse, ironically enough, for some of these cars out here. And we're already seeing the sweeping left. I would not be surprised to see some guys slip and slide out going through that final left-hander going into the pit straight here. We saw it in qualifying. We saw it just before the safety car came out. I mean, what's to say we won't see it here when these guys try and get back up to race speed, try and keep their positions or go for those positions going through
that's what I was going to say, Baz, as well. The longer the safety car goes on, it doesn't look like the rain's easing up. Are we potentially going to reach full wet conditions here? And with only 4 laps left to go in the race, 3 laps left to go in the race, is it worth pitting? And we've got Drummer DNFing now. He's just out of the exit of turn 3. So
yeah,
Kevin on Earth's coming up.
Yeah, so he should just see the accident before it despawns. And ironically enough, we saw a Ferrari crash. Actually, we saw the Drummer crash in that spot in qualifying. It wasn't as bad as that accident, but we saw him crash out there. And now it's happened in the race. It's a lot worse than what it was, but it still happened again. So that's very unfortunate. We only have, 13 guys left out here on the track. We were kind of having a bit of a laugh about this, James, right before we jumped into the race. Oh, sorry, 12. Yeah, no, you're correct there, yeah. But yeah, we're kind of a laugh about that right before the race started about, this is going to be entertaining, right? There's going to be a lot of guys taken out. But I wasn't expecting 8 cars.
See, the way I think about this, Baz, right? If we equally cast a curse everyone, then it's basically the same as we haven't cast a curse to anyone, right? Is that how that works?
True. Yeah, true. Or if you have anything that's wooden, just touch that, grab hold of that for dear life. Because the cast a curse is horrendous when it's going rampant. And apparently it's happening now. Safety car going in this lap. That should be the last safety car of the race as well. There's not enough laps now to have another safety car come out, according to the game's rulings and that anyway.
Yeah.
And with 12 cars left, I'm really worried about this first sector, about how these guys are going to be able to handle it. Chu as well.
Yeah, this last corner is going to be brutal. Oh, did he? Oh.
Yeah, I just got to Chu just left the session come up, so he's been disconnected. Not sure what's happened there. Computer or internet issue. The absolute worst timing for that to happen.
Yeah, right on the restart. Oh no.
At least the AI will be able to safely get you through sector 1. I will say that much. So
hopefully he can. He's probably not going to be back by the restart. Hopefully he can get in pretty quickly, retake control of his car, and hopefully no one's near him when he reconnects either, because we know there can be issues. Yeah. We've got a top tip from definitely no one not sneaky that Chu's internet's out.
Yeah, well, there you go. And the race is underway here at the moment. Yep, Shinudi, he spun it around that left-hander. I called it was going to happen. I didn't want it to happen. but it has. The Ferrari driver, the last Ferrari driver,
Well, we've
being
got
severely caught out there. Another big incident here
contact
through Sector
between
1.
Werribee and Bassink as well as they're exiting turn 3, I believe it was. Managed to keep it relatively clean, but there was definitely contact there and a bit of bumping.
Shinudi gets a 3-second penalty there as well. Champagne was more than happy to give those positions over to the rest of the grid. So good guy Champagne there, getting quickly out of the way for the rest of the drivers as we continue down here with only about 4 laps left to go here in almost full wet conditions, it seems to be here at the moment.
Yeah,
Kebab's running away with it.
wet. It's getting way worse.
Kebab is running away with
Oh,
it,
no,
but
he's
almost gets
not.
caught out.
Yeah.
Tire touched the wall, luckily not the wing. He will be able to hold on. He's been in the lead the whole race. Yes, he has a 3-second penalty, but he still managed to hold on here at the moment. That was terrifying, though, and I won't be surprised if we see a couple more guys potentially DNF by the end of this.
I think Kebab probably would have won this race if it wasn't for the safety car and that 3-second penalty. So that safety car's brought them all back together and made that 3-second penalty all the more punishing this later on in the race. Unfortunately, I don't know about you, Baz, but my timing screen is a bit broken. I can't see the intervals or the gap to the leader for anyone. So that's going to make it really interesting to see if Kinkaira is within 3 seconds or not. It looks like he is at the moment, but I can't confirm anything.
Yeah, I'm not getting that myself either, unfortunately. I think it might have been because of the DC issue with Chu, unfortunately. But we will push on regardless here at the moment as the race continues. For now, Shinudi's sent it into the wall again, by the way. He's been caught out once again, so he will probably most likely finish in that 11th spot if he's able to hold on. Champagne's, I think he's a full lap down on potentially the whole field except for Shinudi.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, but we'll still be able to at least secure that 12th place spot. Kebab will continue to have the lead at the moment. Kinkairo is chasing up on him. I can say on distance that's definitely in the 3-second margin for sure at the moment. So I think it is.
I've got timing back, and Kinkairo is currently 1.2 behind Kebab.
Yep, I've got mine too. Yep, so I can see that as well. Yep, so he's definitely got plenty of time here. Kinkairo just needs to keep his head down. Of course, your current drivers' champion. He's actually been pretty quiet throughout this race, but it's just being able to be consistent, right? Being able to get your head down like this, that'll keep getting you the wins, getting you the points, and eventually getting you the drivers' championship. Source me. It's what happened during the full season 1 championships. But all jokes aside, it is how you can run away with these championships. And Kinkairo out putting on a show for the stream at the moment, just showing you how you do it.
Yeah, we've got Bassink who's just trying to get past Chu as well. I believe Chu is still disconnected. Maybe has reconnected. I think Chu maybe actually has reconnected now.
Chu looks like he's connected because I believe you don't have an AI symbol.
Yeah.
When it's disconnected. So we're going to assume that he is back. He's still racing underway. He's got a lot of time to make back. Real unfortunate for Chu as well. Had provisional first for the whole mid-section of the race, but that one early pit stop call unfortunately had cost it for him. He can still hold on to third here. Bassink's going to chase him down, but remember,
Bassink's got that 6 seconds.
3-second penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, 6 seconds now.
6 seconds penalty.
What is 3?
9 seconds. And into the wall.
And into the wall.
Big wing damage. Oh, almost a really unsafe rejoin there. Oh my.
Oh no. I think there's a few times now we watch Bassink during the race, and there goes the whole wing now. And just for good measure.
Oh no.
So that would have definitely been a safety car. And of course, there's not enough time now. Then 2 laps left to go, but that's going to be Bassink out. So at least Chu can have a sigh of relief there. Should be able to hold on to third, but he is slowly catching up to Kinkairo. I wonder if he'll be able to do it in a lap and a half's time.
The question is, I don't think Chu is going to be able to get Cairo, but the question is Chu going to be able to pick up second or not? So Kebab is leading with the 3-second penalty, and Chu is just teetering back and forth inside and out that 3 seconds, and we could be, by the end of this race, Chu could be, tenths away from third or second, depending on how close he is to Kebab when he crosses the line.
Yeah, exactly right. And we've seen it happen in Mexico as well, ironically enough. I don't remember if it was the Academy or Div 2. I believe it was Div 2. We saw that. But it definitely happened there, and it definitely happened here potentially as well. Look how close first, second, and third are here at the moment. There's an argument that Kinkairo might even be able to get Kebab if Kebab's not too careful there. He's been a bit slow to some of these past few corners here at the moment. And I believe it's actually getting a lot wetter. Has it just gotten a lot wetter for you as well, James? It looks like
Yeah,
it's just
it
gotten drenched
definitely
a hell of a
looks
lot
like
more.
it. The cars are spraying like crazy. There is, it looks like there's a fairly significant amount of standing water on the track. So I'd say this is borderline close to full wet conditions, but obviously these guys are not going to want to pit. They have 1 lap or 1.25 laps, if that, left to go. Wubsy just clips the wall ever so slightly.
It's full wet. Kebab was considering the pits. He heavily considered them before he turned out here at the moment, but
Maybe trying to
yeah,
fake it, or...
yeah, maybe, you never know. I mean, you've been some people do fall for it. You'd be surprised.
Well,
But
a pit's 26 seconds. I don't think you're
yeah,
going to lose that much by staying on inters. So I think pitting for full wets is definitely the wrong decision.
the only argument I could have is that yeah, you could have 26 seconds, but those 26 seconds could save your life. That final lap.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, look how wet the track's getting. We've already seen Kebab having a bit of issues when it was when the track was in better conditions, right? When it was more tarmac than water you were driving on.
Did Chu...
Now it is water.
Did Chu just spin or something? He's just dropped back significantly
yeah,
just then.
too.
So he's dropped...
Yeah,
he's actually going to lose a position to Airboy here on track.
Yeah, he's bleeding.
Three
positions.
He must have picked up damage. He surely had to have.
Hasn't. That is...
Oh, that's
horrendous.
Devastating for him. That's absolutely devastating.
Pointing that out, Wubsy's done it again, by the way. He's gone from horrible lap 1 up to 5th. This man is a menace, all right? I don't know how he's able to do this race in and race out, but...
He's not done yet either. He's not done yet. He's looking to make a move on Kevin here in the last lap.
And when Haas is out here, 3rd place, it makes a lot of sense. Potentially, if you're looking for 2nd place in constructors, if he's able to get that extra position or two, potentially. Where Boy's already in 3rd as well. That is huge for the Haas garage here. But we're looking to wrap things up here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here as well. As we're going to get towards the final few corners here for round 8. The ARL Div 2 Championships here. Kebab coming out of nowhere. Brand new driver here to Div 2. Had a bit of trouble in the mid part of the race there, but is able to hold on here. It's still saying a 3.4 seconds advantage. Is he able to hold on?
I'm sticking with Wubsy here. I'm sticking with Wubsy here because this is going to come right down to the wire for Wubsy, Kevin, and Siphon.
Yeah, so it looks like Kinkara is able to hold on, but look at the 3-man.
Oh my god!
Going through a big slide by Chu.
No, that was Siphon. That was Siphon.
Sorry, and he's out of the race on the final lap, on the final corner.
And Kevin lost it, but made it across the line. Siphon DNFs literally meters from the finish line.
That, wow. Wow.
Oh my!
I have no words for that one there, but Kinkaro will be your winner here for the Division 2 Round 8 spot here at Singapore. So he's able to just hold on to just staying close enough for that 1st place position. That's followed by Kebab, Weroboy, and Wubsy. Haas going 3 and 4 respectively. Kevin on Earth, luckily just being able to get that 5th place spot. And Chu in 6th. Siphon had such a fantastic race. Qualifying was horrible for him, being caught out by the heavy rain, being DQ'd by the game. And I think, honestly, is potential contender for driver of the day, having such a great race, especially in that mid.
Yeah, I think Wubsy's definitely going to get the driver of the day. Or maybe Weroboy. Wubsy or maybe Weroboy.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be up there. But I think Siphon was definitely you got an argument for him to be up there, and just being caught out, being tangled up with those guys in that final left-hander going into the wall.
Yeah, what a race for the Haas team, man.
And yeah, so we're just waiting for the end here for Champagne. It was a lap down. He will finish the race there. Technically, was he? It should be 12th because I don't think he'll get the lap back on Siphon. Let's see how the game handles it. Yeah, they will be like that. So he will still finish in 12th. So what a race here! What a qualifying and what a race here, James, here at Marina Bay.
Getting reports that Kebab actually had wing damage for the last little bit there. So
wow!
So it's possible that he could have won that race even with the 3-second penalty had he not had the wing damage. That's an incredible showing by him for his 1st race here with ARL.
The wing damage, the rain as well coming out, but Unfortunately, he just wasn't able to make back that little bit of time, and we see the win going here to your current drivers' champion, right, in Kincaro. Another big W for the Aston Martin driver here. Of course, more points not only for that, but for their big constructors lead they have at the moment as well. But I was going to see the official race, well, I'll say provisional
the,
official
yeah,
race results
the
here at the moment.
pre-FIA race results,
Yeah.
which we may have a few incidents being reported to the FIA after this one.
But even still, what a race here, James. I mean, obviously you were involved in the Academy race. You said, it's a lot of fun then. This is another big one. I'm excited for Div 1 tomorrow now after this one. Because what an insane
Yeah,
showing here tonight.
yeah, that will be really, really exciting to watch. I don't think we have anyone in the Discord keen for some post-race interviews, even though there was a little bit of demand for it. Probably everyone sort of that has DNF has probably called it a night and already gone to bed.
Yeah, I was going to say, very tough race, right? So I'm not too surprised. Other guys will be very tired after that one. But I guess with that then, guys, that'll be it here for us for Div 2 for the ARL Championships Round 8 at Singapore. Thanks so much for tuning in here on this Wednesday night for this amazing F1 action. We hope you guys tune in tomorrow night for the Div 1 guys where they tackle Marina Bay and see how that race is going to go. Lights go out there, of course, at 8:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time for all the action there. So from myself, Baz, from James, and from the ARL guys here, thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, we'll catch you next week for the next major race here in the competition. We still have plenty of weeks to go, but when we go to the Hungaroring, I think that one's going to be a very interesting race to watch out for. Again, another very different and difficult track for these guys to tackle. So we'll see you next week, but until then, guys, enjoy your night, and I hope you enjoyed all the F1 action.
All right, thanks, Baz. Good night, everyone.